A very warm welcome, pool fans from wherever you're watching. We are back live on day 7, as we will be following the last 16 in the men's team division. As you can see, it's Spain versus Turkish Cypriot. To talk you through this match, it's myself and my dear colleague and friend, Eric. Eric, nice to have you in the box.
Hey, pleasure to be with you. Well, we got one of the best players in the world here, Jonas Suto, up in action. Alakam Bilge from Turkish Cypriot, a lesser known player, but coming in at a 706 Fargo, so just under pro speed. Suto will have to play up to par in this one.
Yeah, it is the team event, just for our viewers, Eric. So it is the last 16. We're creeping ever so close to the finishing line. They're playing 3 games at the same time, simultaneously, and whichever team manages to win 2 games will go through.
Spain a big favorite in the overall match, but we'll see how things progress. Big break from Suto. Nicely on the 1 and a runnable table here. Used to seeing him play on the Pro Billiard Series, breaking from the side rail, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets along in more open table play, breaking from the middle.
Yeah, that's a good point you picked up there, Eric. And I tell you what, I was a bit surprised that 3 did go up. Of course, in the previous camera angle, it was pretty clear to see it did. Ooh, how about that?
Yeah, no explanation there. Nothing to do with the cue ball, just off target. So an early look at Alakam here. Have you ever seen him play, Arya?
No, I must admit I haven't. So it's slightly challenging for you and me to have any sort of expectation, but also it makes it a bit even more fascinating to watch.
Looks like he just got away with position here, still on the 5. Playing with an extension. Oh, and he's off target here. He hit his hand on the rail. Looks like he's gesturing there. And scratched on top of it. Suto's a high octane player. You can see how he moves around the table. If he's able to get going here, could be a quick one.
Yeah, that's a good comment, Eric. He's a very streaky player. Well, I just did a quick little research on, I'll try to do my best to pronounce his name, Bilge Alacam. Coming up the ranks through the youth, he's had a couple of quarterfinals in the European scene, so he's been knocking on a door. Not quite secured a medal though. His opponent, however, he's a familiar face in the medals. So like you said prior to the beginning of the match, he is definitely the favorite.
Runner-up in a WNT event. It'll be Alakam to break rack number 2. He's going to have his break working to hang with Jonas. Hit them decently. Ball's in the second row going down. Look at the 1, but only combo for offense. I think he might take it, Arya.
Yeah. Well, he has to call every shot, of course. We're playing 10 ball. Cannot just get down on the shot and try and putt it. And also just interesting to see how he's going to approach this match, Eric. I think he understands that, you know, his opponent is arguably the more experienced of the two. So is he going to be on the cautious side, or is he going to attack, try to win it rather than protect himself?
Well, if this play tells you anything, he's definitely leaning towards caution. I mean, it's one thing not to take the combo on. It's another thing to try not to even play safe when you can see the full ball. That's a little suspect there.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree.
Gets it back. Can overcut the 1 to the right of the 2 here and play the cue ball back near the 8. He's got to avoid the 3 and the 6 coming back up table.
He's called the 2.
Strange play here. I think he's just calling it for insurance. Likely trying to overcut it over the past the 2. Wow.
Actually, I said
Well,
to probably call the 1.
Yeah, off the 4. Yeah. Still randomly put himself in a spot where he was lower percentage than he was before.
You know, I read a book, Eric, and one of my favorite quotes is, "The opposite of crazy is still crazy."
Nicely on the 3 in the side. 7, 8, 9, 10 all on the same end of the table. Just a bit of work to get back from the 4 to the 6, avoiding the 7, 9. 1 rail will do as well. Spain's going to be one of the overall favorites to win this team event.
Yeah, most definitely.
Down to the last 16 here, so all teams have won 1 or 2 rounds minimum to get to this point.
And the most interesting part, and that goes for multiple countries, it's not only Spain, of course. You know, the 2 highest high-profile names are not representing them, FSR and David Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, who do we have? Exposito, and who's the 3rd?
Iker Andoni Echeverria.
Okay, don't know him. Two-game lead quickly for Suto. A questionable play there by Bilge on the 1 ball. See what he has to come with as this match progresses. Again, that was the first time I've ever seen Suto hit the break from the middle. He hit it very well.
Yeah,
Good
once
square
again.
pop again.
Yeah, perfect contact with the one.
He's up quickly here. Straight on offense. Clever play there. Avoiding shooting the 2 in the long pocket. Nicely on it into the side now. Sure if the 5 passes the 8. If it doesn't, there'll still be options to play it in the same pocket as the 4.
Seems pretty tight though, Eric. No, he could draw it back straight. Okay, nicely done. Yeah, it doesn't hang about, does he?
No, super freewheeler type player. Reminiscent of Josh Filler when he first came on the scene.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just keeping an eye on the shot clock. He's averaging roughly around 10 seconds per shot.
Shot for the side. Got past it. Cue ball's playing a little wide here. I think he'll still play the 9 in the top right. Just have to add a bit of left spin.
This can go wrong, actually. The positional play, of course.
Yeah, the left spin's not going to catch as much as it normally would on the newer cloth. Can go to the short side if he doesn't feel like he can check it up enough, and he is going to. Speed's good. Angle to get off the rail.
Yeah, I think he's played that perfect, to be honest with you.
Yeah, nice and close to it.
Well, Eric, you've just mentioned he's reached the final of the WNT event. Where do you think the ceiling is? Oh my God, he's missed that one.
Yeah.
Maybe a bad timing to ask that question, but I'll still ask. Where do you think the ceiling is for this young man, Jonas Suto?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's very strong offensively. I haven't seen him play enough to say how strong he is in the tactical, and I think he's a little emotional, but I think at times he channels that positively. Good shot there from Bilge. 2-1 now overall. I think he channels it positively. It's just having the consistency to uphold that level throughout, say, 6 to 8 rounds over the course of a whole tournament. I think that's going to be the kind of trick for him, to be a little bit more of a consistent finisher, but his high gear is right up there with all the best world-class players, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. When I watch him play, he does look like he can hold his own against anyone. But I also agree what you said about showing emotion. I did a previous match of him, I think it was not in the team event. It literally was the first rack and he was already shaking his head and, well, just showing a whole lot of emotion. I was thinking, the match has just started.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely is emotional overall. But again, I think it's one of those players where he just uses it to fire himself up. I don't really see him like going on tilt, really. But
yeah,
definitely more emotion than definitely more emotion than we're used to seeing from the top players, though.
Yeah,
and again, I think that's just leads to overall consistency concerns.
And I've seen his social media videos where he's spending a lot of time with his teammates or compatriots, David Al-Qaeda, FSR. So, you know, if he can go on a journey with those two, I think he's in safe hands. And he'll pick up the trades.
Absolutely. When you're around winners, it brings more winning, no doubt. Bilge can overcut the 2 here, play it along the short rail.
Is he looking to send the the 2 ball up and down?
He could. The 8-10 could play his blockers that way. I think the safer play is just to leave the 2 in the middle of the short rail, overcutting the 10. I like this shot.
Yeah, exactly. This is what we would refer to as the high percentage shot. Nicely picked out by Eric.
Two rails here for Jonas. Gonna try and get the cue ball in the 8-10 vicinity. Gonna leave it in the open. Cue ball's going the wrong way off the 4. He's gonna have to try to stun between the 8-9 here. Could risk running into the 10, but it's pretty risky. I think he'll try to hit the hole here. Good try, but the position made him miss the 2. Let's come up safe.
I thought that was a fabulous safety shot, Eric.
Plan B. Oh, he's made it, Arya. A shot.
Yeah, and he called it. Great shot. He's called it. I think he can come around the back of the 6 here. Just use the natural angle. Though he's a bit reluctant though.
Yeah, I think he needs a bit of left to avoid the 6 off the second rail. And you'd never want to be spinning a ball like this at this distance, so he's considering safe options. Might just end up going for it in the end. That's a safe there. Quite get the cue ball over as much as he wanted. Valakam has the left side of the 4 here. That'll play well behind the 5 with the cue ball.
Yeah, exactly. And he has a chance to hide the 4 behind the 8 and a 9 as well as an extra piece of insurance.
Found the window. See how much it comes off the rail. Suto will be going on offense here.
Might have to send this cue ball up and down twice.
Overcut it. And a couple chances for Alcam early. Might have to go 2 rails forward here. Oh, he's straight enough to be off the rail. Still is going to play forward. Get even a little closer to the 6. Handball's playing into the path of the cue ball, so just going to leave distance here, I think. Could come all the way across it.
As long as he can find center table, he should be fine.
Two rails back with stun now likely for Alakam. Does have the option to go 3 rails forward, but like hitting the ball a little more aggressively in this spot. Thick enough to go 1 rail. Looks capable, Arya.
Yeah, he does, and you know, he plays the game at his own pace, well within the shot clock, so that's good.
Back to Suto to break in rack number 5. He's hit the first 2 breaks excellently. Making multiple balls on both of them. Shot on the 1 both times. Little off square this time, but ball's flying in again. 2 of them down and a shot on the 1. Surprised he's looking at that side of the table. Feel like the cue ball's playing better over to the left. Be very surprised if he ends up going up the right here. Might have just been checking the angle to see what was available. It does go up the left in the end. Speed's good. Angle going towards the 4. I believe the cue ball's missing the 5, going through the angle here.
Can he miss the 5, you reckon?
I think just barely. Oh, you're right. Right into it squarely. Doesn't want it to end up in front of the 4, and it has.
But it looks makeable,
reasonable
though.
Combo. Yeah. Just slowing himself down here. He wants to get up and shoot quickly, but I like that. You know, showing a bit of experience. Knowing that he's made mistakes like that in the past. Just rushing a bit.
Yeah, that's a interesting comment. Exactly. You know, the best of the best, they do realize even, oh, he's not even gone for it.
I'm surprised he didn't go for it. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, I was about to say, you know, the best of the best, regardless of how fast they are, naturally, they do realize sometimes there is a key shot in the rack and they take a bit more time. Joshua Filler is a prime example. He's very fast, very fluent. Even him, he realizes sometimes he needs to just take a few seconds extra.
Yeah, Filler the first 3 years for sure, 2 years he came out, he was just like running around the table at times. But he's matured and he's gotten even better since then. And I think just slowing down a little bit has helped him overall. Looks like the safety might pay off here. He's going to have a easier look at the offense than he did the previous turn. Now, part of that too is kind of playing your opponent. Might think that his opponent is a little bit on the weaker end, so usually playing more safe in those spots is a good idea. Not taking too many chances.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, it definitely plays a role when you have a, you know, phenomenal putter. Well, let's just keep using Filler for example. He's got no weaknesses. Then all of a sudden, safety play becomes so much more challenging, rather than if you have someone that is pretty weak in the jumping department, you just, you know, tend to leave him a jump shot.
Yep.
And he's potted the 8, but he's hit the wrong part of the 8. That's why the cue ball has gone even further away from this 9. And this is one of those key shots we were talking about.
Tester here. He's made a couple mistakes in the first 4 games, so wants to get this one down. He's got it. Very nice with the cue ball. So a little bit flustered from Suto in the first 5 games, but he has the lead, 3-2. Both players been making a lot of balls on the break so far. Seven wanted to go, but doesn't. It's going to be a shot on the 1 for Jonas. Inviting table.
Yes, exactly. It's the first thing I thought. Nothing really safe.
Gonna want a decent angle on the 5 to get over for the 6 properly. Looks like the 6 is available in the top right if he wants. Likely be going bottom right. Yeah, 10's a little close to it, so he has to get good angle on the 5 to be able to develop the cue ball over for the 6 in the bottom right.
Likely to leave the 4 mid-distance. I say mid-distance, this is close enough of course.
The 5 in the same pocket, 2 rails. Trying to get on the low side of it, create a stunning or soft draw angle towards the 6. 1 rail's okay there too, but he doesn't want to be on the rail here.
Yeah, might have to take
there
the
is
6
room inside
upright.
the 10. Yeah, and he's on a following angle where he can get in onto that small area. He needs to be on the 6. Speed's perfect again, Arya. Just.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you disagree. Even though he's looking to go only 2 racks ahead, it just feels like he's been dominating the table.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's been breaking well. He's going to have the break in rack number 7.
Just having a quick glance on the score line on the other tables. Of course, we are watching the team match between Spain versus Turkish Cypriots. Mustafa Alnar, arguably the strongest player for the Turkish Cypriots. Well, he's 4-1 up against Juan Carlos Esposito. His compatriot Efe Ozgulayli. He's 3-all against Iker Echeverria. And of course the table we are following. As you can see, Jonas Suto 4-2 up.
Yeah, and another good break and a chance to create some more distance between himself and his opponent. Tightest angle is going to have to be on the 3. Can draw out 2 rails here, come diagonally towards the 3, into the line of position. Speed's good, nice and close to it.
Yeah, and I like particularly the fact that he did not try to be too perfect on the 3 here. Just accepted that, you know, that was the angle he had to work with, so.
Listen, trying to hit the 4 there. A little off angle now. Choice of corner pockets, likely the bottom right. Really equal between the two. Looks like he's going to settle on the left in the end.
Yeah, I think so. I feel controlling the cue ball becomes a bit easier if it's into the, well, you can see the camera angle. Our cameraman is certain he's going for this. Got us fooled.
Safe again. So this is definitely tactical overall. Just forcing Alakam to make some kind of safe play back at him or some kind of tough jump. And I don't mind it. I mean, whenever you're 100 points ahead, there is a good gap in skill. Like I'm talking about 100 points ahead in Fargo. There is a good gap in skill, and there's no reason to really take chances if you're the person that's further ahead.
Yeah, that's a fair statement, absolutely. He has called his bank though into the bottom left corner pocket, so let's see if he can make something out of this situation.
He's got it, Arya. Well, sending a little message there that maybe these safes aren't going to be the way to go.
Now I know
Choice
from
to
our
play the
previous commentary that you and me are both very keen on good solid fundamentals. And some shots, he looks a little bit jabby to me.
I agree. Timing's a little off, a little quick on the forward stroke. And he's lost the cue ball here.
Yeah, that's a cardinal sin. Have a look at where the 9 is sitting. How do you end up there?
Yeah, only one ball left on the table. Somehow found it. Distance here. Looks like the 9 might line up with the 10, and it has. 10 ball somehow playing big over these last 2 shots.
Cross bank?
Don't think he has enough of it.
Oh, he's calling. Oh, he's trying to kick this, is he?
Yep.
Top right corner pocket called. Good effort, but not really close. What do you think about the pace he played it at, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to play kick safes when there's only one ball on the table, but kind of played it at a pace where if he didn't make it, it was always going to be over the corner, and that's what happened. But again, Bilge just a little bit quick on the forward stroke there. Big problems overall. You're hitting the ball like that. It's a big mistake mid-match. 2 mistakes, really got behind the 10 when he was looking real solid to get out on his previous visit.
Yeah, and it's a rarity, right? When you have 2 great opportunities in 10 ball and you still fail, you know, come up short. You're asking for trouble.
Needs this game here. Suto's really going to start rolling if he feels a bit of separation, which he already has. Good break this time. 3 ball down. Look at the 1, but nothing offensive.
I'm just wondering, does that go past the 9?
He's having a look at it. Didn't think it did at first, but it does appear to be available. 3/4 pocket, maybe. He is calling it. Had to use the full pocket there. Good speed. So
It's
a
a
chance
funny
to
old
get one
game.
back for Alakam now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was about to say it's a funny old game, and when you look at the chance he had in the previous rack on the 9 ball, that was a lot easier than the one he just potted in this rack.
Another tester here, just to avoid the 8. Lost the cue ball a little bit, but it's going to end up okay. Particularly where the 6 is. Doesn't have to get perfect on the 6.
He's been fortunate there, Eric.
Shot, scrambling around a little bit, but in a good position now. Killed the ball nicely with inside there. Didn't seem too happy with it, but couldn't have done much better, really. Good recovery after a couple mistakes in the last rack. Still not through this one, but looking in good shape here. So break and run from Alakam now.
It's interesting. I mean, considering the unforced errors he's had in this match, he's only 2 racks behind. So, I mean, if he can tighten up, he might actually have a match on here.
Lost the cue ball off square a little bit again, and it's going to punish him this time. Not clear if Alakam has the left edge of the 1. If he does, he'll play it down near the 9. Alnar still leading Exposito 4-2. Echeverria up 5-3.
I have to say, Eric, Alajam in these safety exchanges has not had the upper hand so far.
Yeah, this one's a little bit on the easy side. I think Suto will try to run into the 8 here, stick the cue ball nicely behind the 2. Other blockers up table if he doesn't get right on the 8. Misjudged the 8 ball part of it, and he has left something. Tough one over top. Cue ball running into the 5-10.
Because he's a bit limited with his cue ball, I'm wondering whether it's even value to go for the pot here.
Went after it. He's going to have to play a combo on the 2-8 now. It's fairly lined up to the pocket.
If he can control and make the combo, he could send the 2 ball towards the top left corner pocket. So there is a bit of value in the shot. All about execution, of course, as always.
Off the mark there. Looks like the 8 ball might get in the way. Has. Safe opportunity for Suto. Cue ball in line with the 6 will play well here. Got it. Nice shot.
Absolutely. It seems like a 2-railer at least.
Yeah, to get into the 2 rails going this way, but I think you'll have to go past the side pocket and draw at it. I still don't mind it. I really feel like it's 1 rail if he goes before the side here. So tough to judge that one rail when the object ball's so far away from the rail you're kicking at. And Suto back on offense now, good chance.
Now this is the part of 10 ball I like the most. Keen to hear your thoughts on this. And do you have a preference of any discipline?
Well, I like to freewheel around the table, kind of similar to Jonas. And if you're talking about my game that's the most enjoyable to play, I like 9 ball. You know, I think an underrated thing in 10 ball, if you're not talking about world-class players, which I'm a little under that, when players miss balls, it's easier to get safe because there's so many balls in the middle. So I think it's an underrated thing that a lot of people don't talk about a lot. Just kind of, I actually feel like there's a little more luck in 10 ball. I admit there's more positional skill, but when you're playing at kind of like that mid-pro level, I think it's an underrated thing that, and it's easier to play safe too because there's typically more balls in the middle again, and so many lanes are cut off. So I think 9 ball gets a knock a lot as being too easy, but I think the safes are tougher because you have to play specifically behind balls that are against the rail. The runouts are easier, but it's a weird statement to say for a good player, but I actually prefer 9 ball over 10 ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's by far the most played discipline, so that's one thing that's for certain.
How about yourself?
Oh, I'm team 10 ball all day long. And it's just for one reason only. I don't mind luck because luck is involved in cue sports, in any sports, not just cue sports. I just, I'm not a fan of the cheap outs, the golden break, the easy combinations. Never been a fan of that. And that's the only reason, nothing else, to be honest with you.
Yeah, in the long run, I think 10 ball is the better game, but to me, short run things can happen in tournaments in 10 ball. And I think, the same can be said for 9 ball, but big breakers have a real advantage in 10 ball too. If they're able to start getting 2 and 3 balls down on the break, which is tough to do, but does happen with world-class breakers, you see them having a big edge. Some of those challenge matches that they play over in the US, races to 100, you see players of similar ability losing by 40 games sometimes in a race to 100. It's only because of the break. It's only because one player found the break.
Yeah, bit more skill involved, absolutely.
Doesn't look like Jonas has enough of the 1 here. 1 doesn't play in off the 6.
Luckily with Jonas, if you're not completely certain, just pay close attention to his body language. That will probably tell you if it goes or not.
Doesn't like the safes off the left edge. Still going to leave the left edge here. Maybe tempting Jam to get out of line, but he doesn't.
Yeah, that is purposely played. Played it to such a pace to hide that 1 ball. Successfully did so. Little nod by his opponent.
Controlled the cue ball nicely. Didn't ever expect to make the 1 in that pocket, so I don't believe he's called it, and he hasn't. Nothing offensive for Jonas, but I think he'll stay at the table here. Can take a real aggressive try at the 5. It's close to the pocket. It's kind of the same direction he has to play the 2 ball when while he's playing safe. Lost this one. Chance for Alajam to stay in the match now.
Yeah, if that 7 wasn't where it is sitting, I would say definitely it's a good chance, but overall, from what we've seen so far, that's going to prove to be a very tough shot to negotiate with.
Still is a path back to the short side of the 4 here. If he wants to cut the 3 into the bottom left. I would never draw it. There was a following path similar to what he did. That was always going to miss the 9. Tough to see. He's going to have to go all in behind the 8 here. Could bank the 4 towards the 5. Yeah, it's a good shot too.
Yeah,
Call
I'm with you,
5.
Eric. I would never draw on that 3 ball. He's called 5.
Yeah, I think try to line the cue ball up with the 10. Kind of a two-way.
That 6 could go close as well.
Decent thought there for Alajam. Got a little bit out of control, but he's left it safe. And no easy saves for Jonas.
Will he risk to play a very cheeky safety? Push the 4 gently onto the 7. There's a lot of risk involved with that one. Probably not the right shot, but it is an option.
There's just not much else. I like how he played it, playing into the 7 purposely. He's left a shot here.
Yeah. This is basically saying, I'm willing to gamble.
He's got it.
And to be honest with you, Eric, I'm wondering if he would have played the same shot if he was playing FSR.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably might have even tried something more aggressive somehow. Oh, he's caught a little follow off the rail here.
Yeah, you can just see enough of it. The only thing I'm not sure of is, can he play this with right spin? He might have to actually play this with left, just to curve it around the 10. Wow, beautiful shot. Use the 10.
He's in good shape now. Shot there, guaranteeing not to go too close to the left middle. Off the second rail.
This is a strange match, Eric. I mean, again, if he, and he should make this 10, of course. He's only 2 racks behind, but it feels like he's had way more mistakes than his opponent.
Yeah, I mean, the miss on the 10 for Jonas at the beginning of the set would have made things even further apart. He did have the one break and run. Alternate breaks tends to be lend towards closer scores, but I agree. If we had a table time overall percentage, I think Jonas would be at 70%.
Yeah, I think that is as accurate as you could have explained it. Oh, he's lost his cue ball. And what's the damage?
Pretty big. Just the
Great
6-9,
chance.
the only thing you really... yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No, yeah, I'm saying there's a great chance to make it only 6-5.
6-9's the only problem he's going to have to contend with. Very makeable combo. 4 is actually in a decent spot to come into the short side of the 6, and I think he will.
And there's also an option, if he puts the 4 into the bottom left, you can open up that corner pocket for the 6 as well. So he's got multiple options here.
Yeah, good call.
The only thing he cannot afford is to leave himself dead straight on the 4. I mean, he can if he can just control the pace in the cue ball on the 6, but ideally you like to think you need a bit of an angle.
He's got it. A little in between, really, but enough to come off the rail. Over top of the 10. I don't think it'll ever jam off the 9. Gonna have to play it with a little more speed, which would cause more of a jam effect, but I think he's okay. He was scared to play it at higher speed. I don't think he should have been. He's off angle now.
Yeah, needs to play this with low left. It's the type of shot, the harder you hit, the less time the cue ball has to get the grip. Oh, he's trying to cut this into the bottom right, is he?
Looks like it. Maybe a safe. He's got it.
Interesting choice.
Not back. Yeah, not back in line yet, but still at the table. Made a good pot on the 4 in the previous rack. Gonna have to come with another one here. Body movement and everything, getting him down though.
Needs to apply himself on this shot. Keep the focus. Slightly decelerated, but it's an angle to work with. Somehow, Eric, he's only one rack behind.
Yeah, we're ending up with a close match here.
Jonas taking a timeout. Well, it gives us the opportunity to have a look on what's been going on the other tables. Mustafa Alnar, 7-3 up, so he's going strong. That's a race to 8. However, Iker Echeverria, that is a race to 9. He is 8-5 up. So this match we are following, Eric, could prove to be the pivotal one.
Yeah, it's going to be Alajam to break here. Staying in the arena, ready to get back at the table. Alnar, the highest rated player on the Turkish team, Turkish Cypriot team, at 771 Fargo. He's had some success on the international scene. Pretty square, nothing down though. Suto has the left side of the 1. Gonna look to get the cue ball back behind the 10. A little thin, but he's covered the 1 nicely. Only the right side of the 1 for Alajam now. Might be playing the cue ball into the top right, off the right side of it.
There's a bit of risk involved, that shot. If he can nail it, might get this safe, you know.
Yeah, it looks like it could be possible to open up around the 4 in between the 3-4 coming back. Has to be hit very thinly over long distance. Caught it a little too thick. Suto's going to have to find a way to slow the cue ball down on the short side of the 2 here. Maybe draw. Thinks he can get around it. He can. Definitely the right shot there. Thought he was going too wide off the following angle. Suto wants to be ready to go here, but slowing himself down again smartly. Shot of the rack coming up.
Yeah, nicely spotted. That's the best way to put it. Shot of the rack. Well executed to absolute perfection.
Gonna have to go around the 5 here, but plenty of room over on the left long rail to get around it. Didn't want to come into it. It's looking okay in the right middle, but off angle here.
I think with the angle he's left himself on this cut, if he plays a deep screw, not too hard of course, he could... oh no, he's addressing the cue ball high. I thought maybe he could just avoid running into the 6. Yeah, he stunned it off 2 rails. Perfectly played once again. So Mustafa Alnar, representing Turkish Cypriots, he's won his match. As you can see in the background, the ref is cleaning up the table. However, on the 2 other remaining matches, Spain is taking the lead. Iker Echeverria is still 8-6 up in a race to 9. And Jonas Suto at the table, looking to put himself on the hill.
Yeah, Cypriots put up a good fight here and still not out of it. 3 games away from winning both sets. Adding a bit of left spin there, making sure he didn't run into the 10. Nicely on it now. Well, good response from Jonas after the break. Full table run. He'll have the break back in rack number 13.
And I don't know if you just caught that in the previous camera angle. We could see the player representing Turkish Cypriots at the table. He is currently 8-6 down, but him being at the table does provide a bit of hope.
Yeah, close match overall. And the cue ball's kicked in here. So this one not over yet.
Yeah, that's the second time it's happened to him in this match. Scratch off the break. Generally speaking, Eric, at the highest level, that is, well, was it be fair to say 90% of the time punished, if not even more?
Yeah, you would hope so. By the players that are winning the tournament, definitely up in that percentage. Ten balls covering a lot of angles for the 6. It is available right from near where the 5 is. Gonna make it a little tough to get on the 7 if he leaves himself that much angle. But Not much more option, I don't think.
Now, of course, I do understand why the two gentlemen on the other table are standing up. If I was at the table, I would ask them to sit down. It's a little bit off-putting if I was playing, but Bilge, he seems not bothered about that.
Yeah, I agree. Just continue the match over there. Can follow up one rail here with a bit of right spin. There is a shot coming out of two rails, but I believe it makes the 10 ball a lot bigger. Really depends how far the cue ball is playing to the left off the 5. Might be just going a little too far. Here he comes. Got to avoid the 10. He has. Nice shot. Gonna have to get to the low side of the 7 here. Surprised he could draw it that much, but nice shot. Proper shot.
We did say at the beginning of the break, a scratch usually does get punished, and that is looking like it.
Choice of side or corner here. Could favor the corner personally, but looks like he's having a look at the side. I think that's a mistake there, Aria. Corner pocket played so much bigger, particularly because he had to play it in at speed.
Yeah, and also the positional play was a lot easier. Just a quick update on the other table, still ongoing. It was 8-6 in favor of the Spanish player, and it's now 8-7. So in both matches, it's getting very, very tight. And, well, lastly, do not forget, the Turkish Cypriots have already secured a point. Mustafa Alnar taking that one.
Again, Suto laying off there. Probably a spot where he would have been more aggressive against certain players. But he stuck to that strategy throughout the set. Hasn't hurt him too much overall. In fact, it's won him more games. He's going to have nothing easier than he had before, but could have been easier.
Absolutely, he's been pretty fortunate. So I think the Spanish have also secured a point. Yes, I can confirm that. So this team matchup between Spain and Turkish Cypriot will all come down to this match that we are following.
Look at this, he's got the bank. And he's on the 9. Pressure here.
Yeah.
All the
Literally
other
took
team
the words
members.
out of my mouth.
Yeah, let all the other team members watching. Do or die.
Well done.
It's there.
That was not an easy shot. The 9 into the side pocket. There was a lot of pressure on it. And he made it. It's now only 7-6 behind. He has lost the lag, so the final break, if we get to that point, will be for Jonas Suto. But, you know, if you're Bilge, the only thing you're concerned about is to draw a level. He's just taking a timeout, so that it gives us 5 minutes. And we'll see the conclusion of this thrilling team match between Spain and Turkish Cypriots. Don't go anywhere. Well, Eric, as Bilge Alacam has just returned to the table, we're just wondering, will there be another chapter to this story? Is his break? Can he make it 7-0 and force a decider?
Yeah, Spain under the threat of elimination here. Wouldn't have expected it when this match started, but here we are. Two balls down, but no shot on the 2. And these tactical games seem to have favored Jonas. See what Alacam can come up with here on the push. I don't mind pushing the cue ball down to the bottom right, in between the 6-8.
So you would leave your opponent with a shot or just hook it?
I'd give him a look at the 2. I think it's anything as far as pocketing out of that area is going to be very tough. The safes are actually going to be tough. I mean, not to the point where I'd be worried about pushing there, but as far as a good thing, where I don't feel like it's going to be an easy save for Jonas. I would never go behind the 8 here. It's not.
No, I can guarantee you, if you would leave me this 2, I would always go for it without any hesitation.
Snooker player's confidence.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, the position's possible as well. I liked being... Yeah, look, he gave it back. I liked being in this area, but closer to the rail. Being off the rail makes the pocketing percentage a lot higher. But yeah, Jonas just kind of reading Alijam as someone that can't execute the real tough shots or get ahead of him in the tactical battles. And I mean, I don't feel that's specifically why the score is so close, but it's interesting that he has given him more looks at the table, and this is how it's ended up.
Yeah, 2 scratches on the break as well. That adds up as well.
Not there. It's going to be good for Suto if the 2 goes in, and it does. Just has to avoid getting behind the 6 coming across table now. Looks like he's going to make sure he avoids it and play between the 5-6 for the 5 in the left middle. He's got it. 6 should play all right into the right middle. And looking good now to take down this close match.
Is it too harsh to say he should actually take out the match from this position?
Yeah, it's all there for him. Nothing in his way. Into the thick side of the pocket there, but got it down. 2 balls left.
Well, Eric, we were talking about this off camera. Whenever a match gets close, it always is entertaining, but it seems like Spain will take it away.
Yeah, good hard-fought battle from Turkish Cypriot. They'll be proud of their performance here. Make it to the final 16. And almost defeating one of the favorites. But Spain does get through it. And that'll be the last match played for today. We'll be back with 4 more days of the European Open. Back again tomorrow. For Arya Sorabi, this is Eric Horlifson. We'll talk to you guys soon.